Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new stream here on the channel. And on today's stream, guys, I will be talking about Bitcoin. I will be talking about what currently we are seeing in this market. We will be talking about the price section. We will be talking about very interesting news articles. We will be talking about the adoption currently absolutely skyrocketing, and basically the bullish news. I just can't stop with finding bullish news about Bitcoin, about its fundamentals that are growing stronger and stronger every single day. As well, I will be talking about, of course, the on-chain data. How are we currently looking on-chain? Are we still seeing more and more short-term holders selling in towards this downtrend right now here? Because we've got all the data out there, and I will be providing it to you guys out there. And of course, guys, it's going to be absolutely amazing journey. So make sure to make sure to sit tight. And let's first of all start discussing this imminent short term on Bitcoin, this 1 hour time frame right here, this basically range high and range low bounce we're currently have been seeing on Bitcoin over the past 15 days, guys. This is absolutely crazy. So if you haven't already, first of all, guys, make sure to smash up that like button. It will be highly appreciated. And at the same time, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because yeah, subscribing to the channel is of course only going to take a few seconds of your time, and you will be absolutely mean the world to me. So let's jump right away towards the content. Right now, Bitcoin is, of course, once again bouncing between that high and the low. And of course, I've been talking about it. I've been talking in the previous stream that if we do break above this top side on the range here, we are going to look for bullish price action. If we are going to get rejected, we are going to look for the lower bounce here, the lower range where we want to be seeing that bounce from. And so far, once again, like it has been playing out for the past 13 days here, Bitcoin has been exactly doing that once again. It has been basically been very boring. True, but it has been very predictable. And yesterday, of course, I forespelled also this opportunity for, of course, a potential trade back towards that higher region. What is basically a range bounce of 5%, guys. I mean, it doesn't really seem a lot, but 5% is quite a big range trade that you could be taking on this market. Right now, of course, I'm suggesting to take anything because we're in the middle of the range. But of course, on the lower side, we are looking for that long. On the top side, either you could wait for shorting, or of course, you could wait for that breakout to, of course, look for a further continuation. Right now, of course, we are still trading in the middle of this pattern. And guys, I've said it several times before, I don't really think Bitcoin is either going to be bullish or bearish right now in this case, as long as we're not broke the support or resistance. If we do break the resistance above us, we are going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. If we do break, of course, that lower side, we are going to be looking for very bearish price action for Bitcoin. So those are basically the two things to take in consideration. There are two scenarios going to be playing out here. And of course, it's going to be very simple. Bitcoin is going to be bearish if it breaks the support. Bitcoin is going to be bullish if it breaks the resistance. It's as simple as that in this case on this chart. Then going further in towards the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see I put up this green box, this red box of resistance. And of course, we're right now looking also at an extra 4-hour downtrend. You can clearly see another 4-hour downtrend, really providing here already resistance on the market, rejection, and of course right now another rejection. So yeah, actually we're starting to look at another interesting downward slope and resistance line here on the 4-hourly time frame. Of course, yeah, we could be arguing, yeah, we can also look for an upward sloping support line, and we could be once again talk about the symmetrical triangle. Of course, our previous symmetrical triangle was, of course, yeah, didn't show the significance. So yeah, this could be, of course, also a potential new scenario right now playing out in the market. But rather, since that previous 4-hourly, yeah, symmetrical triangle already failed to show the significance, I rather look at the 12-hour time frame, because the 12-hour time frame has not failed yet here. And the 12-hour time frame is this chart over here. 12-hour time frame is basically also a major consolidation phase for Bitcoin. And once again, guys, I want to be pointing it out here. This consolidation phase is already taking over 15 days and 12 hours, and we're about to enter the 16-day territorium. This has been one of the most craziest consolidation phases for Bitcoin. If we're just going to look back for Bitcoin, we can see the 15-day consolidation where Bitcoin basically ranges between 29K and 31K, basically between a 2 to 3K target. You don't really see it a lot here. And once it does decide to be happening on Bitcoin, once we do see these long-term consolidation phases really playing out, we tend to see, of course, massive market volatility. And in this case, it's going to be very important, because this breakout can literally mean, of course, a major trading opportunity. And it's going to be very important about where we're going to be breaking towards. if we're going to look at the likelihood where Bitcoin is going to be breaking towards, if we're going to be approaching it from a technical perspective, it is more likely to see, of course, this pattern break towards the downside. Why? Is because once Bitcoin tends to create downtrends and forms a symmetrical triangle, aka better known as a continuation pattern, it tends to be, of course, continuing in the trend it started from, because a symmetrical triangle is not at all a reversal pattern, it's a continuation pattern on the market. So that is, of course, very important to be looking at right now here, and of course that could be having some more it could show us, of course, some more weakness in towards the coming weeks ahead of ourselves. However, I do expect if Bitcoin does decide to be breaking above our resistance target, we could be in for that relief rally towards 35,000, towards 36k, and also really considering the macro environment, in the macroeconomic environment, we want to be looking for that imminent short-term bounce here. Why? Is because the S&P 500 right now is, of course, basically trading sideways, just like Bitcoin has been trading sideways a little bit here. But guys, what is very important is that many stocks have been taking a very, very big hit. But what is very interesting, while these stocks have been taking a very big hit, the earnings of many of these companies are still positive and above expectations. And the earnings are once again also going to come out here in the coming days ahead of ourselves, especially if we're going to start Q3, we're going to see the Q2 earnings. That is definitely a very good signal, actually, because the earnings are still positive, only the stocks are still plummeting 40 to 50% here. That could be, of course, have a very good effect, also considering the unemployment rate is below the below 1.5%, if I say it correctly. That is extremely low, so there's still a very high demand on the market for employers, and that is also why I do think that this recession is completely different than all the recessions we had before. We can't compare them to each other, so that is definitely very interesting to know. So I personally think we are going to have that relief rally on the stock market, and that could be definitely help also to have Bitcoin moving up. And I've been really watching a lot of these technical analysts on the stock market right now. Recently, I've been doing more research on the stock market as well, and it does seem very likely that we are going to have a little bit of relief rally over there, and that could be, of course, also spell some positivity for Bitcoin, and of course also for, of course, basically for Bitcoin, I want to be saying, for the cryptocurrency market. Also talking about this volatility index, I've been talking yesterday about it as well. I have been talking about this very high measured percent of change for the Bitcoin volatility index. The Bitcoin volatility index is right now telling us that there is a very high amount of probability that Bitcoin is going to create a massive market move anytime soon here. We are right now closing in towards these higher ranges, really suggesting right now Bitcoin is just going to be having that imminent market volatility. Of course, it could take a little bit longer, but we do know for sure that Bitcoin is going to create massive moves and could generate that massive volatility across the market. And of course, market volatility is means only one thing, and that means opportunity, because I personally think if there's a large amount of market volatility, we could be benefiting from it in the right direction. So also pretty interesting to see. Then at the same time, going further in towards the charts, I've been looking at, let's see, the MACD and the RSI. And of course, every single time we have this yellow vertical line, we are seeing a bullish crossover on the MACD daily time frame. And every single time we are seeing a red vertical line, you can see a bearish crossover got enabled on the MACD. And of course, it happens several times a year. We see multiple bullish and bearish crossovers, but basically what we can see is always, historically speaking, once we tend to get a bullish crossover on the MACD, and also once we do see these RSI downtrends getting broken, this usually spells some Bitcoin bullishness in the market. Just look also back at the summer low of Bitcoin. We broke that RSI downtrend, which you can see here, major RSI downtrend, then also had that bullish crossover on the MACD, really allowed us to, of course, grow in valuation. And that was, of course, a very nice surge Bitcoin got created from off that point. So also taking into consideration, we are still right now bullish on the daily time frame for the MACD over here. Bitcoin did broke clearly this downtrend you can see over here on the market for the RSI trend. You can clearly see that. Also, we want to be seeing Bitcoin going above the 50 on the daily RSI, because above the 50 basically is suggesting we are more back in that bullish territory across the markets. Also important to look at, so in this case. So yeah, Bitcoin of course is on the daily time frame showing some strength, and that could be of course play in our favor for this 12-hour consolidation phase, what will be basically call a huge direction on the market of course. Then I was talking about of course the S&P 500. You can see of course the S&P 500 is going to be opening in an approximately 6 hours from now on. Again, basically it has been moving pretty similarly together with Bitcoin, and the S&P 500 has been showing some strength recently. And of course, if I'm going to zoom out, let me remove the Bitcoin chart for a moment. So let me do like this. Let me first of all remove all the drawings. Let me remove the Bitcoin chart. You can see that on the S&P 500, we're starting to see a little bit of a bottoming formation getting formed. First of all, we're forming a huge bullish divergence on the time frame, the daily time frame of the S&P 500. That is, of course, pretty interesting to see. If you would ask me here, we're seeing the RSI climbing and, of course, price action decreasing. And, of course, if you don't know already, the RSI is one of the most strongest signals, especially bullish divergence on the daily time frame for the S&P 500. RSI has been an indicator, been around since 1972. Very famous indicator for stock market traders. Also, we're currently still looking at this downward sloping support line here on the S&P 500, and we're so far still holding on towards this. And this, of course, could spell some positivity across the market. Yesterday, we retested again here, and so far, we're really bouncing back up towards that higher region on this market, and that is definitely a thing I'm currently loving to see, of course. At the same time, a reason why I'm starting to get a little bit more excited about Bitcoin is this chart over here, guys. And now we have to be paying attention. This is the chart, the dollar index against the Bitcoin chart. Guys, I've been talking about this chart several times before. We do know that the dollar index has got an inverse correlation between Bitcoin. So what does that mean? If the dollar index tends to be moving down, it means that Bitcoin moves up, and of course also the exact other way around. You can see here on the lower box, this red box on the lower side, you can clearly see I pointed out a market top, because once the dollar index is trading low and trading on a lower range, it has a high probability for a bounce back towards the upside. So it means that, of course, the risk of buying Bitcoin on that range is way higher once you're in a market top phase, of course. But however, also the other way around here, if the dollar index is trading on a high and the confidence in the dollar is very high, and we do know the dollar index tends to trade down with time because the dollar weakness with time, because currency is always becoming less and less strong over time, because there's more in circulation, there's more getting printed, and basically I've never seen a currency, no one has ever seen a currency that's strengthened over time. Just like the dollar, maybe of course for 1 year it could be strong, but over a period of time it always loses strength. And you can see on this chart that the beginning of the bull market 2016 was getting formed on this red box of resistance, right? That was of course the huge run up for Bitcoin, and of course also the huge decreasement in the dollar index. Also the same for 2020. This was also the point of the pandemic crash here, and the dollar index fell down massively, and that was also the start of the bull run 2020. Right now, we are questioning, are we right now preparing ourselves for bull market 2022? Why? It's because the dollar index has been seeing a significant rally. And guys, do know, the dollar index rallied more than an approximately 15% towards the upside. Like you can see over here, 17% towards the upside. What is very significant, and Bitcoin held it up so good if you compare it, because the dollar index rallied so much up here, while Bitcoin of course only lost approximately from 30k low towards right where you're right now trading on 29k, 30k is low, basically 0% of its valuation. Well, the dollar has been increasing with an approximately 15% in strength here. Bitcoin is holding up considering everything right now, the macro environment, the macroeconomic environment, considering everything, considering the dollar, it's holding up so strong here. And that is beautiful to see. Of course, we've only seen one big correction, and we can right now see as well, we have seen one correction. Of course, the Luna Guard, the Foundation Guard correction. I just think it's very inappropriate that some people are saying this correction was not due to the Luna Guard Foundation, but I have data for you guys out there, is that in this Bitcoin correction we got over here, 42% of all the Bitcoins that were sold on this region came from the Luna Foundation Guard. Literally. More, there were approximately 180k Bitcoin sold in this region, and Luna Guard Foundation sold approximately 80,000 Bitcoins. And guys, considering there was, of course, a drop of 80,000 Bitcoins in 72 hours on the market, and Bitcoin observed those Bitcoins so well, Just shows you how strong the network is here and shows how much interest across the market is as well. Look also at this range over here. We've been going sideways, but if we compare this chart to the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and S&P 500 have been falling in this region. Bitcoin is holding up very well considering the macro environment. And also, considering everything right now, Bitcoin is holding up good against the dollar. But what are we seeing right now? We're seeing that the dollar is weakening. Why? Is because we are getting some notes out there that probably the rates near the end of the year are not going to get as hiked as fast as we were expecting. Why? Is because there are elections near the end of the year. And of course, you don't want to be the guy that is hiking interest rates while you're, of course, ruling, of course, right? So, pretty interesting what we're seeing over there. So, yeah, dollar index is right now coming down. Will we be seeing a continuation? Most likely, in my opinion, yes. Why? Is because you can see as fast as a market, as fast as the chart can come up, it can also come down again here. And when exponential, it is getting that rejection right now. It is losing its strength right now. And also, if I'm going to open a chart of the 10-year, let me see, the 10-year, let me open a chart, different chart, 10-year. Let me see if I can 10-year bonds. I mean, let me search it real quickly up how this chart is called. 10-year yield bonds. Trading view. I'm quickly search out. Oh, it's US 10-year. Okay, that's it. So let me open this chart for you guys out there. So the 10-year yield bond are coming down. Pretty interesting. I've been talking about this chart already several times before. And I've got some opinions about this chart. And let me quickly address these opinions with you guys out there. So let me go to the weekly time frame again. Let me remove this drawing that I purposely set. So let me look to the monthly time frame actually. The 10-year yield bond is basically, if yields are getting bought up here, it means money is going out of supply because the money is getting injected in the system is getting bought up with these yields. And usually once the yield market moves up here, it means that the dollar index is strengthening and that equity markets are falling even further. Look at this downtrend. This is a chart that basically shows us the data since 1984. And since 1984, the 10-year yield bond, even though in the 2008 recession, in the start 2000 dot-com bubble, we have never seen the 10-year yield bond really forming a higher high. We've always traded in a downtrend. And look at this. We've been seeing a very stealth recovery from the pandemic low, of course. And right now, we are seeing another rejection from the high. We also never formed a higher high on this chart. We've been always trading in the downtrend. And if the 10-year yield bond comes down, guys, this means that equity markets are going to have the room to grow once again here. And also, guys, the USA eliminated approximately 40% of the wealth from everyone out there, because a lot of wealth was in the stock market, and the stock market dropped approximately 30 to 40% of some stocks only 20%, some stocks only 60%. So there's a lot of wealth destruction in the US right now, and that means that there could be, of course, a possibility that the Fed is going to start being a little bit less hawkish because there's already a lot of demand getting sucked out of the market. So the 10-year yield bond is running a massive downtrend, and this is one of the most craziest charts because if we're going to get a rejection over here, and I mean, I can overlay the Bitcoin chart on top of it, and you can see really the inverse correlation once again between these charts, right? This was the bear market for Bitcoin. Here is where basically Bitcoin started to rally. And of course, here we also had that little bit of a harder time for Bitcoin. So let me see if I can clearly of course, Bitcoin has been in a very long bull market. And of course, it has been not around that long. But you can clearly see in this period along the way down, Bitcoin strengthened it. And over here in this last stage, Bitcoin have a little bit of a harder time. Also, where the 10-year yield went up again, Bitcoin also started its bear market. So you can really see this inverse correlation between each other. But this is definitely also suggesting there could be, of course, a potential strengthening macro environment for equities out there, for stock market, for everything basically. And that is, of course, going to be pretty positive if you would ask me. Then in the same time, guys, I'm still going to talk about this massive multi-month consolidation phase. And I still think, so far, no one on YouTube, no one on the internet is talking about this chart I'm currently showing to you guys out there. But guys, just like some other charts I shared to you guys out there, the DXY chart, the bitfinex whales chart, many people will be talking about this chart you're currently seeing. This is a multi-month consolidation phase for Bitcoin, and this is going to be showing and indicating the Bitcoin market is preparing itself for a massive leg. And guys, I've said it several times before, forget these market cycles, forget the 4-year cycles. Bitcoin is just correlated too much towards other equities right now here. And right now, we are looking at the multi-month consolidation phase. And Amir, thank you so much for being already a member for 15 months. I mean, you're an absolutely legend. Soon it will be 2 years. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, you're literally, yeah, the best supporter on the channel out there. So big shout out to you, Amir. I don't forget your name. You're an absolutely legend, of course. And you're also sticking around in these more tougher times in the market. And that is why I like you, definitely, man. And of course, everyone who's right now sticking around in these more tougher periods in the market, you are an absolutely legend. But more importantly, guys, I personally think that this consolidation phase we're currently looking at could be potentially take quite long. It could still take very long for Bitcoin to potentially, of course, create a massive move from. Bitcoin could consolidate near the end of 2023, and we could be still trading in this pattern, right? So I am not saying that Bitcoin is going to move today. I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to move tomorrow, but I personally do think that Bitcoin is preparing itself on that larger time frame, on that monthly time frame. We're making ourselves ready for that massive rally, just like you can see we did in the past. Bitcoin always formed these multi-month consolidation phases, and if we're just looking at all these charts on the monthly time frame, Bitcoin, its patterns that it created over there were definitely the most important patterns to look at, because those were the patterns with the most significance. Those were the patterns with the most probability win rate, and that is also what we're currently looking at. And yes, Bitcoin can still fall to 25k and come up again. Yes, it could happen, but it means that we're probably still going to trade in this pattern. So, and really what I'm trying to be pointing out over here is that Bitcoin is strong for the long run in the coming 1.5 years for sure. And of course, I mean, I do my shorter term analysis, but this is definitely my longer term analysis. I personally think that Bitcoin is in a multi-month consolidation phase. And of course, before things can heat up again, Bitcoin could consolidate for quite a while still here. Then in the same time, guys, I want you guys to look to this video with me out there. So make sure to put up the sound, because this is a very interesting video. Oh wait, you guys don't hear anything yet.
Regulating the crypto, we've divided the crypto into two. The central bank is actually regulating the cryptocurrencies, and we are going to issue a new regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies in the next couple of months. And we've been working hand in hand with a lot of different regulators as well that have pioneered United Arab Emirates within the cryptocurrency. But we're also working with our international financial free zones, because they've been there for the last 7 years and 6 years introducing and regulating cryptocurrencies. So we believe it is an important sector that needs to be regulated, and it is going to add to the GDP of the United Arab Emirates as well.
In terms of a central bank issued digital dirham, something like that, is that in the discussions at this point? Is there a time frame for that?
Well, a time frame not yet, but I think it was public as well that United Arab Emirates is looking at issuing a cryptocurrency in dirhams, our local currency. But it is something that needs to be done, because we believe it's the next thing that's coming, and you need also to regulate that even more harder than the crypto assets.
What are some of the benefits then of such a currency?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think putting Abu Dhabi and United Arab Emirates specifically on the market, and I think it's going to attract more developers and more exchanges to come to this part of the world to make use of this currency. And as you know, with United Arab Emirates, recently our GDP have increased by about 6% in 2021. And then I think this also gives it a different flavor, that United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi and Dubai are playing a big role within the cryptocurrency and crypto asset space.
So, did you hear that, guys? So basically what this video is telling is that this is let me see, the chairman. This is Mohammed Ali Sohara. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, but this is the chairman of Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development, talks about the UAE's its role in the cryptocurrency space. And he talks about that the UAE is currently focusing on getting their own stable coin. Their local currency is the dirham. that they're trying to get their own stablecoin out there, the dirham. And I currently am also a resident of Dubai, and I can tell you, you almost pay everything in tether over there, and that's why they want to have their own local stablecoin. What is also connected towards the cryptocurrency industry, and of course, a lot of big crypto firms are also moving to Dubai because it has a lot of benefits for the firms. It's just very interesting that they are really trying to become the crypto hub here, guys. And that is also a thing I want to be pointing out. This is the chairman of the economic developments in the UAE. And this is crazy. They're so big. It's so big, and many people are not seeing it, but the adoption and the growth of the fundamental worth of Bitcoin is growing so massively, and that is why I don't want you to lose your attention right now, because this is the stage that Bitcoin can, of course, go towards that next level. Of course, it could take a very long time because development doesn't happen overnight. Rome is not built overnight. It could take some time, of course, but guys, there is so much development. Everyone is working on this. The large parties are working on this, and you can see the Department of Economic Development is talking about implementing their own stablecoin, and that is, of course, massive adoption, and he is interested in regulating it. I think, yeah, regulation, it is going to drive eventually the market towards the upside. So yeah, I am just thinking this is extremely bullish news for the cryptocurrency industry. They're working on it, and of course, in another interview, he told us that it is probably going to come out within 2 years. So that is going to be absolutely crazy. I am definitely ready for the coming 2 years, because in 2 years from now on, guys, we're also going to have the next Bitcoin halving. And the next Bitcoin halving is going to be crazy, because I can clearly, before going in towards the other news article to talk about, you can see these orange lines here, right? These orange lines are the Bitcoin halvings. And historically speaking, guys, if we are getting a Bitcoin halving, it tends to mean the price action is going to rally significantly in towards the halving. And also after the halving, we tend to see massive rallies. Why? It's because Bitcoin is just ready for, of course, this next stage, because there's going to be less in circulation, the demand stays the same, and the price is just inevitably going to grow from it. So then going further in towards the next thing to talk about is not really news, but this is, of course, the fair ingredient next, guys. We still know we're sitting on in 11. You pay most things in tether in Dubai. Yeah, Monday Green. I bought my own apartment paying with tether. Pretty cool. If you want to get, let's say, cash, you can pay also tether. Pretty cool. If you want to, let's say, buy a car or buy anything, you also usually pay in tether or in ethereum or Bitcoin. There is so much what you can pay in crypto in Dubai, and that is why I really like the country, and that is also why the central bank is really trying to adopt it very massively, because they see there's a very big opportunity for payments, etc. Because a lot of people that live in Dubai have an online business, and they also receive money online, and that's why it makes it easier to have their own stablecoin to do everything right now, right? So in the same time, I want to be talking about Fear Ingredient Index sitting on 11 right now, pretty low, of course, historically knowing. I'm not going to go over too much in depth about it. We do know it. Fear Ingredient Index is staying low, guys. I mean, I can maybe talk about this for the coming 10 days, but as soon as Bitcoin does bounce, the Fear Ingredient Index is going to be trade with us. And the fear is extremely high. Fear equals opportunity. Don't get caught out right now this time. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much in depth about this, but more importantly, accumulation trend score, pretty interesting to see. We are seeing a high amount of accumulation currently happening, and of course, guys, if we're going to look back at the previous high here, at the October high, we also saw a high accumulation, but you have to get the sentiment of the market right now. We have not seen that accumulation trend score being high, and accumulation trend score is basically indicating the relatively size of entities that are accumulating coins on chain of their Bitcoin holdings. So the scale of accumulation is basically, so the more darker the dot is in this case, the bigger the scale of the accumulation is. And you can see, of course, on the top side we had a high accumulation score, but after that, in this period over here, we were seeing almost no accumulation. And due to that, and right now seeing that accumulation really kicking in towards the market really shows us the sentiment of the buyers, because an accumulation score usually tends to stay for a little bit longer. And this clearly shows us there's a lot of interest from people to actually be buying Bitcoin over here with large entities. And that is, of course, very good to see for this market. Then at the same time, of course, if we're going to look at the balance on exchanges for Coinbase, and guys, if you don't know already, Coinbase is an OTC. They do a lot of OTC. They do a lot of over-the-counter deals, OTC. And what does it mean? If, let's say, a Will wants to be buying 10,000 Bitcoins, they go to Coinbase OTC it's called, and there they're going to be buying 10,000 Bitcoins, not from the market, because if you're going to be buying 10,000 Bitcoins from the market, you're going to have slippage, because if you buy 10,000 Bitcoin from the market, the price is going to be moving massively. So what do? They do buy it over the counter. And what can you see over here on Coinbase? You can clearly see it over here. The Coinbase supply that they currently are having on their exchange is falling massively. And look at this. This is a trend that really is getting emerged, right? And Coinbase is really the OTC desk for the USA. So this chart basically shows us how much Bitcoin are getting bought OTC from Coinbase. And guys, there's going to be a point that Coinbase is going to have no more Bitcoins on their wallets, on their exchange. At least not a lot anymore. And you know what's going to happen? What eventually happens from that point, and that is why I think it's so important to look at these charts, and that's why I also point them out very frequently on my Twitter page. Why I point them out several other times on my other pages as well, right? If there is no supply left to be buying from an exchange, it basically means we're going to have a supply shock, and a supply shock creates massive price rallies. So to take into account that the Coinbase supply is dropping so massively, especially while price action is also dropping, it shows us that there is accumulation from whales. And also it is once again the proof, guys, because we can also literally look at this chart on the number of whales that are currently increasing in the market. If you are in fact selling right now, you are selling to whales. And you can argue about it. You can say, oh, but Bitcoin is going to fall down to 22K, or I'm selling right now because I think Bitcoin is going to come down to 8K. I'm selling right now because the macro environment is too scary right now to hold. Whatever. You can say whatever you want, but you can't deny the fact that if you are selling right now, you are in fact selling to whales, and we've got literally the proof for that. So yeah, you are in fact selling to whales if you're selling right now. Most likely it are institutions you're selling towards, and of course we are not going to hear about any institutions holding Bitcoin unless they hold enough, because if they do hold enough, they will be talking about Bitcoin. And that is also once the retailers usually tend to step in here, and that is usually also the time where you should be selling into the strength once they tell you they are holding Bitcoin. Just looking back at the Tesla announcement. I mean, if you sold Bitcoin in towards that rally over there, it was actually a pretty good selling opportunity, because Bitcoin rallied all the way up to 50K from that point. It went only another 10K higher, and then it of course ran out of steam. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting. US bond is going up, Bitcoin is going, US bond was going down, we just discussed it, so I don't know. But more importantly, of course, also want to be talking about this here, a very good tweet from the Real Plan C here, and he is talking about the supply loss active 1+ year ago with the rate of change with Z-score, pretty interesting calculation, but you can see clearly, historically speaking, if Bitcoin comes down, and we'll be going out of stream for a second, if Bitcoin comes down towards this green box over here, guys, it means that we are having a very low rate of change for the long-term holders, historically, meaning it's a very good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. Look at this, we're trading insane levels, almost like the low of 2015, the bear market of 2015. So yeah, is the opportunity very high right now? Yes. Is the risk to reward worth it right now? I will also give it a big fat yes here. Also, the correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, guys, it flashed this dark blue dot here on the chart that Plan B made for us. And of course, historically speaking, Bitcoin tends to be having these periods where it is highly correlated with the S&P 500, and it also has this period where it is not that highly correlated with the S&P 500, and Bitcoin goes in bull runs. And right now, once again, we can see we are in that dark blue stage, basically meaning we are right now in the middle of the high correlation asset point, and of course it's going to become a point that we're going to be having, of course, that decoupling phase here. How long will it take, we exactly don't know here, but if it does take place, it will probably have a massive effect on all markets. So yeah, guys, this was of course a lot of interesting things we did talk about today here. Bitcoin is of course still consolidating a little bit towards the basically still forming a little bit of sideways action, and of course that 12-hour time frame still not choose a direction right now here. It could still take several hours, but more importantly, guys, if you also are interested in trading in the market, make sure to check out these links in the description right now. Here we've got Prime XBT currently offering you a $7,000 deposit bonus, and guys, these deposit bonuses are definitely very important to check out right now. And also, more importantly, if I'm going to go to Prime XBT, guys, this is definitely an interesting platform to check out, because Prime XBT is the next generation trading platform. If you're interested in not only trading crypto, maybe you feel like, oh, I want to be trading the dollar, I want to be shorting the dollar, I want to be longing the dollar, you can do so with Bitcoin. You can also trade gold, silver, oil, also S&P 500 with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the standard of this trading exchange. if you are interested in that here, guys, this is your exchange to check it out here. Also, if you do want to be making that diversified portfolio by maybe holding a little bit of gold or maybe holding a little bit of S&P 500, this is definitely the exchange to check it out here. And guys, like I pointed out here, a $7,000 deposit bonus is the deposit bonus to go for right now here in these more harder periods in the markets. You can definitely use this in your advantage. Good morning, iQuick. Hopefully you're having an amazing day here. You did miss the beginning of the show where we did discuss all the interesting parts here. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go back and towards the stream. It's definitely very important to check that out here. I think it was definitely a lot of interesting topics we went over today. But guys, let me know if you do have any questions for me right now here, because I would love to go into your questions right here. There are many bullish factors, and that's true. There are indeed many bullish factors across this market right now, and that is also what I discussed. So yeah, make sure to check it out here earlier in today's stream, guys. Also, we are closing in towards that 81,000 subscribers mark. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it will be definitely highly appreciated if you're going to check it out right now. So yeah, just like Amir standing, guys, smash up that like button. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will be also talk a little bit about Ethereum right now. But before going into Ethereum, let me talk about the Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance really moving up here. This is the daily time frame. Bitcoin dominance really making it spike towards that higher region right now. Here it's really moving up, not exponentially, but it is indeed significantly moving up. Of course, we do know once we're in these more uncertain periods in the market, the Bitcoin dominance tends to be rising, and I actually think it's still pretty decent to see the to see the Bitcoin dominance rise over here, while Bitcoin only traded sideways, right? So people are uncertain, and that is why the Bitcoin dominance is moving up. What I actually would like to see here, my most favorable scenario, is that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be moving towards the upside from here on, towards that 52% region, while Bitcoin is also pumping towards the upside. That will be the most ideal scenario. But of course, in case Bitcoin is going to be moving up to, let's say, the 35K region, and the Bitcoin dominance is going to fall, I will be a little bit more cautious, because in case Bitcoin makes that rally towards the upside, guys, Bitcoin makes that rally towards that higher region, the Bitcoin dominance and altcoins are basically, Bitcoin dominance falls down, altcoins bounce very heavily, I am expecting another continuation down, because what I need to see is altcoins bleeding, because that is very important for this market to continue its trend further on. I need to see altcoins bleed out here, so also be very picky with the altcoins you are actually buying today. Holiday, has Tesla accepted Bitcoin again or yet? No, they have not accepted Bitcoin yet. Of course, we do know there is a very big mining console back in North America, and of course Tesla has not accepted Bitcoin due to the green environment, but also we do know that Tesla got out of the S&P ESG, what basically means the most environmental friendly companies, what also doesn't make really a lot of sense, and Elon is a little bit upset about that. You can read that through his Twitter page, but yeah, no, Tesla has not accepted Bitcoin yet here, but of course, in my opinion, it's just going to be a matter of time until he will be doing so once again. Let me see. What do you think about moon phases? I think moon phases are absolutely terrible. I mean, it has some significance. And should I enable real quickly on this chart? Yeah, I think it's absolutely terrible. Why? Let me remove also all the drawings. Yeah, you can see sometimes it does clearly show us significance. Right now, it has not showed us any significance. It's just more a thing of luck, a thing of coincidence, I should say. But no, I don't really think that moon phases are that good. Low altcoins are already down 95%. Why do you want to be seeing blood? Many altcoins are down 95%, but look at this. The Bitcoin dominance has not been rising yet. Bitcoin dominance has to just trade higher. I think there are a lot of shitty projects out there right now here that need to bleed, and that is also why we had this Luna crash. Luna had to crash at some point, because let's say Luna was not crashing yet here, we still had this carnage in the space. And it could have crushed us even harder, because they were buying more Bitcoins as reserve in the future. So yeah, I just want to see altcoins bleed, because the harder altcoins bleed, the more room Bitcoin has to grow to, more room Bitcoin basically has on the top side. Follow Instagram. Oh, you're promoting my Instagram. Yeah, guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I mean, actually today I am leaving. Oh, I don't know what is this. Today I am leaving to, I have to log in. I'm not going to do that. But today, yeah, guys, make sure to check out my Instagram. It's in the link in the description. But today I am leaving towards Monaco, and I'm going to go to the Grand Prix over there. So it's going to be pretty cool. So unfortunately for the coming 4 days, I will be not able to stream. Very unfortunate. But after those 4 days, once I come back from Monaco, I go back to here. Then I go back towards my new house, and then we will be streaming every single day again. And so yeah, maybe I will be 1.5 weeks not streaming on the channel, maybe 1 week approximately. But then after that, I will be back streaming almost every single day again. So guys, do know that. That's pretty important to know. Let me see. Hey Dan, I love your live streams. Been subscribing since January 2021. All my rips suggest a low of 22.7k. What do you think? I mean, all my rips. Oh, Fibs, your Fibonacci. I mean, we could set up some Fibonacci's, and I can talk about some very interesting Fibonacci levels. Let me first of all remove moon phases. Look at this Fibonacci over here, right? We're setting up a Fibonacci from the swing low over here. This is the pandemic low. And if I'm going to increase it and set it all the way up here, and this is of course an inverted Fibonacci. And if, let me see if I connected it perfectly. I want to be setting it up like this. So this is a Fibonacci from the bear market, the pandemic low towards where we're currently trading. All right. So let me place to the 3-day time frame to make it a little bit more clear to see. And look at this retest we're currently getting. I mean, my Fibonacci's are not necessarily telling me we have to be falling down right now. And also, considering the macro environment, I personally think we are going to get a relief ready. I am still saying, yeah, Bitcoin can reach 22k. I'm still really saying that. That could be definitely happening. But not on the coming 2 or 3 weeks. I personally think we are first going to have that relief rally before potentially moving up from here on. Because why? It's because we can see everything coming together right now. We can see the dollar index coming, having that rejection. We can see the earnings reports are way more positive than everyone expected, while inflation is so high, right? That is also a pretty positive thing here. There's still growth along a lot of these companies who did hook a big hit on the S&P 500. So we are expecting a little bit of a bounce back over there. And yeah, that will be probably result in the S&P 500 trade a little bit higher. So I think an imminent short-term bounce is going to be likely before really choosing another direction. I mean, if we're already considering the 12-hour pure technical analysis on Bitcoin, this is a bearish bias case here. Bitcoin is looking very, very weak over here, and Bitcoin is basically in the perfect cocktail for another plunge down from here on. So, pretty interesting to see. Share this video with your friends. What video you're talking about? Is it this stream? Okay, that's funny. So, Amir, absolutely legends. The US gas is going to hit $10 of a gallon. No one has the money to invest. I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of shit going on right now. Yeah, you can counter trade me from here on. I mean, yes, I've been clearly admitting that on this movement down, I've been, of course, I mean, so far in this range over here, we've been very, very right here. We've been talking about Bitcoin. If it does break above this range, we're going to be looking bullish. Not happened yet here. If we're not going to be breaking above it, we're going to come down and we're going to be bouncing from the lower range, right? And if we do break the lower range, we're going to fall down further. So far, this range, we've been perfectly right. But many people still, yesterday also, once I made my video, people were so angry. I just don't get it. Some people are just having their emotions sucked up. But I do get it. Market fell down very massively. But also trying to be pointing out here, guys, this correction that we got on the market over here, I mean, some people said they predicted it, but actually, this has been the Luna crash. And like I told you, 40% of the Bitcoin that got sold in this region over here were literally from the Luna Foundation Guard. What means, could we be really, I mean, if you found out that Luna was a very big Ponzi, yeah, you could have been expecting this massive correction towards the downside. But besides that, Bitcoin was holding up very strong against equity markets, against everything, actually. So this has been literally a little bit of a harder point of predicting the market. Actually, this has been, of course, a movement towards the downside. Right now, we just have to reevaluate to see how this is going to be playing out, this consolidation phase. Are we going to have the bullish breakout, or are we going to have the bearish breakout? And of course, silver is still trading in this range, and we will be just patiently wait which direction we're going to be moving up. And I mean, historically, guys, it's been pretty interesting because you make 5 good calls and you make one bad call and people hate you for it. But I mean, in fact, I don't know any trader out there that has been 100% perfect. You are always never going to have a 100% perfect rate. And guys, remember on the channel, for the absolutely OGs, how we shorted this one over here. should I go back to our stream on 7th of September? I shorted this top over here. Everyone called me crazy, and I made an 850% gain on my trade over there at that point. I longed the dip over here and made more than 400% along the way up, and I closed my trades approximately over here. Everyone called me stupid for closing my trades, but at the end of the day, I cashed a beautiful short position towards the downside. I opened a one crazy long position from the low over here towards the upside. I mean, I swing that freaking market out of the shit over there. This was a very good trading period. Let's say the range between July towards October has been a very good trading range for me personally. Of course, after that, I've been a little bit more worse in the movement towards the downside. I've been catching some minor positions, but this was definitely a very good position. And right now, we will be once again trying to catch the most of the trades, of course, over here. So yeah, let's see what we're going to have from over here on. And of course, guys, I will guarantee you can't call everything right, even if you are God or something. You know, no one is going to do it. No one is going to be having a 100 perfectly win rate. And of course, some events are just very hard predictable, just like this Luna crash, that dropped basically the market massively down here. Let me see. And that is very important. Now they have 2 tokens in Terra. I mean, I'm not a very big fan of Terra. I think Terra is an absolutely shit coin. That's my opinion. I should definitely stay away from it. I mean, you know, I also, like, many people were hating also on me that I was shitting on Terra Luna because I was absolutely hating on it. Because Terra Luna, I was going live on the channel over here. I said, don't buy it. And you know, once again, always people like to... I have to always tell them what their emotions are telling them, right? So if the market goes up, I have to tell them you have to buy. If the market comes down, I have to tell them sell. But actually, I did the other way around many times on my channel, and that's why maybe I don't have the most popular opinion. But yeah, of course, this was the point that, of course, Terra Luna came down massively. And of course, I was live and I said I sold everything on my channel from my Terra Luna and that you should be very careful. And of course, many people that were watching said at that point, buy right now before it's too late. But still, Terra Luna dropped off in approximately 71% from of that region. So please take that in consideration. Terra Luna is absolutely one of the most shitty coins right now out there you could be absolutely buying. And of course, if you're going to be buying Terra Luna right now, you're basically going to help Kwon basically save his ass. Because yeah, he's got a lot of issues right now here and he needs you to be buying. Otherwise, he's getting screwed over, of course. So 29.5k, Bitcoin is, of course, trading in his middle range right now here. It could be, of course, come down towards this support range over here. If we do fail to hold on towards it, we could fall a little bit further towards the downside. But more importantly, yeah, we could be looking at this 4-hour rejection we really confirmed right now in this market, right? So, could be taking a little bit more consolidation before we're really going to choose a direction. Anyways, guys, I will be right now jump off the live stream. What I will be doing for you guys out there is that I will be back with another live stream on this channel as soon as we do see another interesting move getting created. So let's say this 12-hour time frame is really going to come towards a close. We're going to see a little bit more of a direction getting called here. I will be trying to jump back live as soon as possible with you guys here on the channel today. And anyways, guys, it was an absolutely amazing stream here. If you did enjoy the stream, make sure to smash up the like button. And of course, more importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel here if you haven't already. We're so close towards 81,000 subscribers, and if you haven't already subscribed, it will be definitely highly appreciated. It's only going to take a few seconds of your time and you will be absolutely mean the world to me. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching once again towards this amazing new stream here on the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.